yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. That is crappy workmanship there. I hate to say this, man. I love Schecter guitars. This has changed my opinion of Schecter guitars a little bit. So, what's up, guys? Kyle here again, and today we get to unbox a brand new guitar together, one that I have wanted for a long time. Let's do it! Alright, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and what I do is I take all sorts of awesome high-gain related guitar gear, I record it with a simple setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into E-standard thrash riffs, dropsy hardcore riffs, and dudes that need to take a class on knife safety, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on your way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. That is, if I make it past today's video. Thanks! Alright, so those of you who have been part of the belligerent amateur community for a minute know that my preferred style of guitar is just a good old-fashioned single cut, baby. I love me a good Les Paul, I love me a good ESP Eclipse or similar style guitar. But recently, in the last couple of years, I've started to stray away from those single cuts because I bought a Gibson Explorer and it kinda just changed the way that I felt about pointy guitars. When I was younger, I was honestly never a fan of the Explorer shape. It just looked kind of corny to me. Even as somebody who grew up liking punk, hardcore, thrash metal, stuff like the Explorer and the Flying V, I just always associated them with corny bands for some reason in my mind. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, because I can't give you a legitimate reason. But seeing those guitars just made me think of dudes who have tons of confidence and zero self-awareness. Those are the types of guys that play those guitars. Well, guess what? Now I'm one of those guys. Because I have fallen in love with the Explorer shape. I have multiple different Explorer style guitars, most notably the Balaguer Typhon that I play on pretty much every demo on my channel. That has become my #1 guitar for a number of reasons. But there is something about playing an Explorer standing up that just feels even more at home for me than a single cut, because the way that that bevel goes down, it literally is just the perfect place to rest your arm. I'm looking in the camera and I'm realizing that that probably wasn't a good hand gesture in that position, but you understand what I'm getting at. Your arm basically just rests on that bevel and it's I don't know, man, it just feels super comfortable, and I've just gotten really accustomed to playing Explorers standing up. I actually now think that they're more comfortable to play in a practice or live setting when I'm standing than a Les Paul, and that has kind of been the direction that I have leaned towards when I'm choosing my live guitars recently. So with that being said, I have a number of Gibson Explorers, I've got a couple Balaguer Typhons, and a couple of years ago when I went to Summer NAMM, I happened to stop at the Guitar Center in Nashville, Tennessee, and just stopped and played one of the Schecter Evil Twin Explorer style guitars, the E1, and I really dug it. I never buy new equipment, but man, I was just on something that day. I was feeling really good and I ended up buying that guitar. Still have it, haven't regretted it ever since. And in the meantime, I have kind of just been keeping my eye out for other sick Explorer style builds, something that's maybe a little bit more unique. I'm really loving the 25.5-inch scale that both the Schecter and the Typhon guitars offer, but I really wanted something with modern features like stainless steel frets and a neck through construction, because let's face it, Gibson isn't gonna do that. They're not gonna do that anytime soon. So I had to keep my eyes on a more modern brand. Well, it didn't take me long to find a model that I was really interested in for myself, but even though I bought my Schecter E1 SLS Elite brand new, I got a discount on it at the time, and I just don't buy new gear. And the one guitar that really caught my eye, had the features that I wanted, had the finish that I wanted, it looks so sick. I can't wait to unbox it. So now that I am hooked up with Zounds, I actually saw that they had one in stock the other day, and I hit them up and asked them if I could purchase one off of them. And Zounds, being the awesome affiliate for me that they have been super supportive of the channel in the short time that they have been an affiliate, offered to send it out to me at a very steep discount. So yes, I did pay for this guitar, but Zounds did not give me this guitar in exchange for a video. They sent it out genuinely just because I wanted it. And if you guys like what you see here, you want to help me out, and you want to get yourself an awesome guitar in the meantime, I don't know what the hell that was. But anyways, down in the description of the video, you can visit my Zounds affiliate link. And anything that you purchase at Zounds, it won't cost you anything extra, but your boy will get a little bit of kickback that'll go back into this channel for making content for you guys. And that is honestly the best way that you can help this channel out, and everybody who clicks those links, very much appreciate you. So without further ado, let's find out what this guitar is that I've been talking about for the last 5 minutes and not playing. All right, so we've got the guitar backwards here. That way you guys can't see what brand it is or what model it is. We've got old Stabby here. I'm gonna try to get out of this with as few flesh wounds as I can manage. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little nervous that there's gonna be some damage to this guitar because it looked like FedEx purposely tried to destroy this thing, and it was so cut up that I actually considered not even opening it, just thinking like, this thing is gonna be destroyed. There's no way. But I opened up the box and it was double boxed, of course, and luckily it looks like the inside box is fully intact. So let's keep our fingers crossed that nothing terrible happened to this thing. And of course, I want to give you guys a few minutes, and not really a few minutes, a few seconds to guess what model and what brand guitar this is. Leave it down below in the comments before I actually unwrap this thing. It's obviously an Explorer style guitar, but I'm curious to see which one you guys think that it is that I purchased. So do me a favor, leave it below in the comments. And all right guys, so now that you have your guesses in, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna unsheathe this thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited. I hope I'm not disappointed. These things look so ridiculously sick in the pictures. All right, last chance. 3, 2, 1. There she is. I haven't even looked at it from the front yet. That's what she said. All right, so we have the Schecter E1 SLS Evil Twin here. Yes. This thing looks so sick. It's just straight up murdered out. Matte black finish here. We've got the Tune-o-matic Tone Pros locking bridge and tailpiece. I am a sucker for the old school stuff when it comes to hardware. I do not like the hip shot style bridges for my playing style. I like the bridge to come up off the body a little bit, give my hand a little bit of an angle onto that Tune-o-matic bridge, and in my opinion, it just makes for a chunky palm mute. It sounds chunkier when you're doing it. And yeah, this thing has the compensated nut. One of the coolest features is it's an Explorer with a 5-piece neck through construction. That is really unique. I have not seen that from any other manufacturers of E-style guitars like this, and that really is what drew my eye to it in the first place. And on top of that, it's got this sick swamp ash wings, so it's not your typical mahogany rosewood style Explorer guitar. It is just completely different, completely modern. We've got an ebony fretboard here. We've got stainless steel frets, locking Schecter tuners, which the Schecter and ESP LTD locking tuners that come on these guitars, I think that they work awesome. There is nothing wrong with these whatsoever, and I'm always happy to see these on here. And with the pickups, we have the Fishman Fluence Modern Ceramics. This is the only portion of the guitar where I was not completely like stoked on the features. I know a lot of modern players love the Fishman Ceramics. I don't because I typically am playing my Explorer style guitars in E standard, and these pickups are just too bright and too hi-fi for my personal tastes. So more than likely, I'm gonna pull the pickups out of this sometime in the near future, and I'm gonna replace it with something a little bit more my speed. But for now, I don't hate these pickups. I really like them when it comes to down tuning, especially if I'm going drop C or lower. These things sound incredible because they are super clear. They don't lose that high-end clarity that you tend to lose when you tune that low. So for that, I think they're fantastic. But for my E standard belligerence, me barely being able to fumble my way through some thrash riffs, they just don't work very well for me. Even in the passive voicing, they are just not really my forte, but that's not gonna stop us from plugging this guitar into a couple of sick amps on this video and getting some sound samples, because I am honestly super excited to hear this thing. We've also got the coil splitting on top of that second voicing, so we're gonna play around, see what type of tones we can get. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do a little bit different today. We're gonna try some new speakers today, so let's get to it. All right guys, so I am all set up here with the guitar. I had a few sick amps ready to go, some new speakers and everything. But unfortunately, we have a little bit of an issue, because you may notice on the guitar that on both the behind the bridge and above the nut, I've got, Velcro fret wrap type deals from Solar on there, because I was getting a lot of noise in my palm mutes and stuff, and I couldn't figure out why. Initially, I thought it had something to do with the harmonic frequencies that sometimes ring out after you stop playing behind the bridge or above the nut. But it wasn't that. Right? So initially I was like, oh, it's probably just the strings up here kind of ringing funny when I stop my palm mutes. But no, watch what happens when I turn off my gate. So yeah, that's grounding. That's a grounding issue. It goes away when I touch the pots because it's not properly grounded. And also, the strings just want to feedback like crazy for some reason too. It's probably part of the grounding issue. But just to show you that I know that it's not something in my signal here, I have another guitar with a Fishman Fluence Modern pulled out in order to show you that that guitar is not doing it at all. So here's my LTD Black Metal, same pickup. You're not hearing that grounding issue, are you? No, you're not, because it's not doing it. Let's just say I'm a little disappointed at the moment. The guitar sounds fine, but that grounding issue is awful. So at the moment, guys, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna reach out to my guy Billy over at Zounds and see if they prefer that I return this or if I try to troubleshoot it myself. I'm not gonna lie, I already did the first step. I pulled off the control cavity on the back and it seems like everything is grounded to one singular point in the control cavity to the bridge volume pot, or I guess the volume pot, because there's only one volume pot. And that solder was cold. It was a very bad solder joint. If I'm being completely honest, it had a cold solder joint. So I went ahead and reflowed the solder and still having the ground issue. So my thoughts are that the bridge ground wire, the ground wire that comes from the bridge into the cavity and then connects to that pot or that grounding central lug there, whatever you want to call it. I'm guessing that that's not making proper contact with the bridge wherever it is in here. I could probably pull off the strings, pull off the bridge and tailpiece and try to figure out where it makes contact. All right, guys, so I'm using my phone to record this, so bear with me. I just found something really interesting and something that, I hate to say this, man, I love Schecter guitars. This has changed my opinion of Schecter guitars a little bit. So they drilled this hole for the bridge post far too wide, right? Like I tried to unscrew the bridge post and the bridge post really just came right out. That's not supposed to do that. So what happened is, let's see if we can focus. They shimmed it. They put a piece of wood in here to kind of close up that opening so that this stud, this anchor, would stay in there, right? Well, in doing that, you can see there's our bridge ground wire. It's going underneath of that shimmed wood piece, which is why we had grounding issues, because technically the ground wire wasn't even making contact with this stud here in order to ground the guitar in the first place. So yeah, man, that's screwed up in my opinion. That's really crappy, Schecter. Sorry, I love Schecter guitars and generally their quality is fantastic, but yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. That is crappy workmanship there. They drilled the hole too wide. They tried to shim it with a cheap little piece of wood here, and in turn, they covered up the ground wire, and my guitar had a horrible ground hum. And that's from the factory. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fix this. We're gonna plug the guitar back in and we're gonna see if we can get it to work. All right, guys, so we are back. As you saw, I found the issue. I have since plugged in the guitar and I can confirm that the issue is rectified. Just to prove it, here's the gate. As you can probably tell by my face, I'm still not super happy. That was one reason why. The pickups are like just microphonic. They just feed back on their own with no help whatsoever. If I have any sort of boost on, they just immediately go into feedback. Also did not happen on the other guitar. But our grounding issue is fixed. I was going to play through all these amps, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not in the mood. I'm pretty frustrated because not only did we have our initial issue of the grounding with the poor workmanship on the guitar, but now I've got the microphonic feedback pickups, and I also just probably spent the last 20 minutes trying to fight this guitar to get it in tune because it seems like the intonation is not correct. So generally, I'm a big fan of Schecter guitars. I'm a big fan of their quality. I think that they are some of the higher quality guitars that you can get when it comes to mass production import stuff. This guitar has been a very big disappointment for me out of the box. So I'll be 100% honest with you. Not super happy right now. Was really excited for this guitar. It's been a bit of a letdown out of the box. I'm gonna give it a few days to settle it in. I'm gonna hit the intonation again. And like I said, I plan on changing these pickups out anyways, but like if I was the average consumer, if I was the average guitarist who purchased this guitar and took it home or got it home, you know, it got shipped to their door, they pulled it out of the box, they're having a bad day. And these are issues that just should, frankly, the grounding issue, that should have never happened. That was, in my opinion, that was ridiculous. So the fact that they over drilled the hole and then tried to use a cheap fix in order to fix it, and then the person who tried to do that just didn't even do it right. All he had to do was move that piece of wood to the other side of the cavity and then place the stud back in, and it would have been fine. But because they did it completely backwards of the way that they should have done it to fix a problem that shouldn't have happened, this should not have shipped, this should have at least been a B stock with that hole over drilled or whatever. It's not a good look, man, not a good look. And I know it's I believe it's like World Music who makes these guitars in Korea for Schecter. I know it's on them, but the fact that this has a Schecter USA sticker set up and inspected right here, see if I can get it to focus. The fact that that sticker was put on this guitar and this guitar was shipped to a reseller in order to be shipped to a customer is frankly terrible. It's terrible. The more I think about it, the more frustrated I am getting because honestly, I just think that that's ridiculous. This is a $1,400 guitar. A $1,400 guitar that does not come with a case or a gig bag, by the way, and has the Schecter USA stamp of approval saying that this thing was set up, it was checked out, it was ready to go, and that was absolutely not the case. It's inexcusable, and this has changed my opinion of Schecter. I know that stuff gets through the cracks and everything, but this should have not gotten through the cracks. This is ridiculous in my opinion. Luckily, I am somewhat capable when it comes to guitar troubleshooting and repair, and again, I'm gonna change out these pickups and I will work on the intonation as well. But in the cab, we've got Weber Grey Wolf speakers. I've got a Grey Wolf and something else. They sent me these speakers a long time ago and I can't even remember what they are off the top of my head right now because I'm irritated. Okay, had to go through the emails. Grey Wolf and a Silver Wolf. I have an SM57 on both. I'm only gonna play a couple riffs because I'm irritated and I just wanna call it a day. But yeah, here we go. We're going into the PV 6505 1992 original. So there's that. Not my thing for E standard. Let's pull it out into the active voicing. This at least brings some of the highs forward a little bit and kind of, you know, relaxes the mids a tad. Real quick, we'll hook it up. Yeah, by the way, I got an orange Rock Reverb 50 Mark III. So yeah, we'll have a we'll have a demo on that. I'm so, like, I'm letting this get to me way more than I should. I'm not being a Karen. I am generally, I'm not a picky person when it comes to guitars, when it comes to inspecting them. You know, some people will return guitars over the smallest things. I am not that person. I'm frustrated. So let's plug into the Rock Reverb for a minute. We'll get a riff out of the Rock Reverb and we'll call it a day. All right, guys, D standard orange Rock Reverb. I still have the MXR M77 turned on. Here's a riff in D standard. Top strings, I can't get it in tune. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today on the unboxing and the initial repairs to the Schecter E1. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I didn't really enjoy making it very much. The first half was fun, but second half was not all that fun. If you like content like this, or even better, content where the unboxing is actually a good time for a good piece of equipment, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe on your way out. Want to send a big shout out to Zounds. It's not their fault that the guitar arrived like this. Thank you to Zounds for providing the discount on the instrument in order for me to be able to purchase it. If you guys want to help the channel out, affiliate link down below in the description for Zounds. You guys click that link, buy anything through them. It costs you nothing extra and I get a nice little kickback and it really helps the channel move forward. And I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I guess stay tuned for more on this guitar. I'll give you some more updates as she goes, but I think I'm gonna hang on to it and try to fix it. Thanks so much for watching. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time. You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.